The most expensive billionaire's wedding lasted only 7 months and it left everyone puzzled despite the grandeur. Why did it become so unpopular? Was it the lavish extravagance or something more hidden behind the scenes? Watch the full video to find out. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified as I upload the next video. Let's dive in. A wedding so grand, it's got the whole world talking. We're not just talking about any wedding here, folks. We're diving into the extravaganza that was Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant's pre-wedding bash. Now, I know what you're thinking, another rich kids party, right? But trust me, this is a story that'll make your jaw drop and your heart ponder. You see, in India, weddings aren't just a celebration of love. They're a spectacle, a status symbol, and for some, a chance to dream. And when it comes to the Ambanis, well, they don't do anything by halves. So, buckle up as we take you on a roller coaster ride through luxury, controversy, and questions about what it all means for the rest of us. To truly appreciate the grandeur of Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant's wedding, we need to understand the families behind this union. This isn't just a celebration of two young people in love. It's the coming together of two of India's most influential dynasties. Let's start with the Ambanis. Their story is the stuff of legend in India, a tale that embodies the nation's economic transformation. Dr. Rajiv Kumar, economic historian. The Ambani saga begins with Dhirubhai Ambani, a man who started with nothing and built an empire. It's a story that resonates deeply with many Indians, the idea that with hard work and vision, anything is possible. Narrator, from humble beginnings as a gas station attendant, Dhirubhai Ambani founded Reliance Industries, now one of India's largest conglomerates. Under the leadership of Mukesh Ambani, Anant's father, Reliance has expanded into telecommunications, retail, and digital services, shaping the daily lives of millions of Indians. Business analyst, the Ambanis aren't just wealthy, they're architects of modern India's economy. This wedding isn't just a family affair, it's a statement about their place in the nation's future. Nowhere is the family's influence more visible than in their Mumbai home, Antilia, a 27-story skyscraper that's become a symbol of the family's status. Narrator, the merchants, while less in the public eye, are no less significant in India's business landscape. Viren Merchant, Radhika's father, heads Encore Healthcare, a key player in the pharmaceutical industry. The merchants represent a different kind of corporate power, more understated, but equally substantial. Corporate insider, the Merchant Ambani wedding is more than a union of two people. It's an alliance between two pillars of Indian industry, energy and healthcare. In the business world, this is as significant as any merger. Narrator, both families are known for their philanthropy and social initiatives, often using their weddings as platforms to showcase their commitment to social causes. Social commentator, Indian weddings have always been about more than just the couple. They're a display of family status, a reaffirmation of social ties. For families like the Ambanis and merchants, a wedding becomes a national event, a chance to project their vision for India. As preparations for Anant and Radhika's wedding unfold, we see this play out on an unprecedented scale. The guest list reads like a who's who of global influencers, from business tycoons to Bollywood stars, tech moguls to international celebrities. Event planner, this isn't just a wedding, it's a statement about India's place on the world stage. Every detail, from the venue to the entertainment, is carefully chosen to showcase the best of Indian culture and the country's growing global influence. The choice of Jamnagar as the wedding venue is significant, home to Reliance's massive refinery complex. It's a symbol of the family's industrial might, but it's also where they've established wildlife sanctuaries and conservation projects. Environmentalist, by hosting the wedding here, the Ambanis are trying to present a narrative that balances their industrial legacy with environmental consciousness. It's a complex message, and not without its critics. As we delve deeper into the details of this spectacular event, we'll see how it reflects the aspirations, contradictions, and changing face of modern India. The union of Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant is more than a marriage, it's a mirror held up to a nation in transition. Now we'll take a closer look at the couple themselves. Who are Anant and Radhika beyond their famous last names, and how does their story fit into the larger narrative of their families and their nation? Stay with us to find out. At the heart of this grand spectacle are two young people, Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant. Their love story, set against the backdrop of immense wealth and influence, is both a fairy tale and a reflection of modern India. Let's start with Anant, born in 1995. He's the youngest child of Mukesh and Nita Ambani. Growing up in the public eye isn't easy, and Anant's journey has been one of personal transformation. Anant was always a bit different from his siblings. While Akash and Isha were groomed for leadership roles in Reliance, Anant seemed to march to his own drum. As a teenager, Anant struggled with his weight, a battle that played out in the unforgiving glare of the media spotlight. It's important to remember that behind the wealth and the family name, there was a young man dealing with very real, very human challenges. Anant's weight loss journey resonated with many Indians who saw a bit of themselves in his struggle. Anant's determination saw him lose over 100 kilograms, a transformation that inspired many. But his journey wasn't just physical. Anant studied at Brown University in the US. This international exposure, combined with his family's ethos, shaped his worldview. He returned to India with a keen interest in sustainable energy and conservation. Today, Anant is involved in the energy and materials businesses of Reliance Industries, with a particular focus on the company's ambitious green energy projects. Anant represents the future of Reliance in many ways. His focus on sustainable energy aligns with global trends and could shape the company's direction in the coming decades. Now, let's turn to Radhika Merchant. Born in 1994, Radhika comes from a family that, while wealthy, has maintained a lower public profile than the Ambanis. Family friend, Radhika was always a bright, curious child. Her parents encouraged her to pursue her interests, whether it was in academics or the arts. Educated at New York University, Radhika returned to India with a degree in politics and economics, but it's her passion for classical dance that often captures public attention. Radhika's dedication to Bharatanatyam is commendable. In a world of instant gratification, here's a young woman committed to mastering an ancient art form. It speaks volumes about her character. Beyond her personal interests, Radhika has worked with Isprava, a luxury real estate firm. She's also known for her involvement in animal welfare projects. What's impressive about Radhika is how she balances her privileged background with a sense of social responsibility. She's actively involved in several charitable initiatives, particularly those focused on animal welfare and education. Now, how did these two paths converge? Anant and Radhika have known each other since childhood, their families moving in the same social circles. It's a classic case of childhood friends turning into something more. They've grown up together, seen each other through various phases of life. That kind of shared history is priceless. Their engagement in 2019 was a private affair. Quite unlike the grand wedding we're witnessing now, it followed the traditional Gujarati custom of Gio Aldana, literally meaning jaggery and coriander seeds, symbolizing sweetness and bitterness in life. The fact that they chose a traditional engagement ceremony speaks volumes. It's a reminder that even in their ultra-modern world, Anant and Radhika value their cultural roots. Since their engagement, the couple has been spotted together at various family events and festivals. Their public appearances, while limited, have always drawn attention. They complement each other beautifully. Anant's more reserved nature balances well with Radhika's graceful poise. And of course, they're always impeccably dressed, setting trends with every appearance. But beyond the glitz and glamour, what does this union represent? In many ways, Anant and Radhika embody the contradictions and aspirations of their generation. Here are two young individuals, educated abroad, exposed to global perspectives, yet deeply rooted in Indian traditions. Their wedding is a confluence of these worlds, the global and the local, the modern and the traditional. As we've seen, their wedding is not just a personal milestone but a statement of intent. It's a showcase of India's economic might, cultural heritage, and global aspirations. Every detail of this wedding has been meticulously planned, from the guest list to the menu, from the decor to the entertainment. It's all designed to present a certain image of India to the world. The choice of Jamnagar as the wedding venue is particularly significant. This industrial town, transformed for the occasion, represents the couple's commitment to their roots and their vision for the future. By hosting the wedding in Jamnagar, home to both Reliance's refinery and their conservation projects, Anant and Radhika are making a statement. It's as if they're saying, "This is who we are, a blend of industrial power and environmental consciousness." Planning a wedding is a monumental task for any couple, but when you're Anant Ambani and Radhika Merchant, it's an endeavor of unprecedented scale. Let's pull back the curtain and explore the intricate details of planning what might be the wedding of the century. Our story begins in Jamnagar, Gujarat, a city known for its oil refineries and port, suddenly transformed into the epicenter of a grand celebration. When we first heard the Ambanis were planning to host the wedding here, we knew it would be big, but I don't think anyone was prepared for just how big. Preparations began months in advance. Roads were repaved, buildings got fresh coats of paint, and the local airport was upgraded to handle the influx of private jets. We're talking about a guest list of over 1,200 people, many of them VIPs. The logistical challenges are enormous. It's like organizing a small Olympic Games. Every hotel room in the city was booked. Luxury tents were erected to accommodate overflow guests. Even local residents opened their homes to visitors. We've hosted big events before, but nothing like this. Every room has been refurbished to meet international standards. We've flown in staff from 5-star hotels across India to ensure top-notch service. Security, as you might imagine, was a top priority, with guests including global business leaders, politicians, and celebrities. No precaution was too much. We're dealing with multiple layers of security here: local police, private security firms, and even elements of national security forces are involved. The airspace over Jamnagar is being monitored 24/7. Now, let's talk about the food. When you're catering for the world's elite, ordinary just won't do. The menu is a celebration of Indian cuisine, but with a global twist. We have traditional Gujarati thalis sitting alongside molecular gastronomy creations, and of course, everything is prepared using the finest ingredients from around the world. Interestingly, despite the scale, there's been a concerted effort to make the event as sustainable as possible. The Ambanis have put a strong emphasis on sustainability, from using biodegradable cutlery to implementing a comprehensive waste management system. They're trying to minimize the environmental impact of the event. The decor is another story altogether. Imagine transforming an entire city into a wedding venue. We're creating multiple themed spaces, each telling a part of Anant and Radhika's story. There's a section inspired by traditional Gujarati crafts, another showcasing modern Indian art. It's a beautiful blend of the traditional and the contemporary. Technology plays a huge role too. This isn't just any wedding, it's a showcase of India's technological prowess. We've installed a private 5G network across the venue. There are AR and VR installations for guests to enjoy. Even the lighting and sound systems are state-of-the-art, controllable via a custom-built app. Entertainment, as you might expect, is top-notch. Rehearsals have been going on for weeks. We have performances planned by some of the biggest names in Indian and international entertainment. But it's not just about star power. We're showcasing traditional Indian art forms too: classical music, folk dances, even a special Gujarati cultural showcase. Every aspect of the wedding has been personalized, from custom-made invitations to bespoke gifts for each guest. The level of personalization is astounding. Each guest is receiving a welcome package that includes local handicrafts, personalized itineraries, and even custom-blended fragrances. It's attention to detail on a scale I've never seen before. Importantly, the Ambanis have made efforts to involve the local community in Jamnagar. Local business owner, it's been a boon for us. Many local artisans and businesses have been roped in to provide services or create items for the wedding. It's putting Jamnagar on the global map. As the big day approaches, the city of Jamnagar has been transformed. What was once an industrial town is now a glittering showcase of Indian hospitality and opulence. What we're seeing here is more than just a wedding. It's a statement about India's place in the world. The Ambanis are showcasing not just their wealth, but India's cultural heritage, its technological capabilities, and its aspirations for the future. But as the lights go up and the music starts to play, questions linger. In a country still grappling with poverty and inequality, what does an event of this magnitude represent? Is it a celebration of love and culture, or a display of excess? All right, now we're getting to the good stuff, the celebration itself. Folks, this wasn't just a wedding, it was a 3-day extravaganza. Day 1 was all about Indian culture. Guests were treated to traditional music and dance performances. There was even a village-themed event called An Evening in Everland. It's like they were trying to showcase a romanticized version of rural India to their global guests. Day 2? That's when things got wild. A jungle-themed party with animals and acrobats. It's like a high-end circus came to town. And Day 3? Well, that was for the Bollywood lovers. A star-studded bash with performances that would put the Oscars to shame. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment. You're a guest at this wedding. You're surrounded by more luxury than you've ever seen. The food, the entertainment, the sheer scale of it all. How would you feel? Awed? Overwhelmed? Maybe even a little uncomfortable? Celebrity guests and performances, 10 minutes. Speaking of guests, this wasn't your average guest list. We're talking about a who's who of global celebrities. Pop icon Rihanna performed, reportedly for a cool $9 million. Mark Zuckerberg was there, rubbing shoulders with Bollywood royalty like Shah Rukh Khan and Deepika Padukone. Even Bill Gates made an appearance. It's a testament to the Ambani's influence that they could bring together tech moguls, Hollywood stars, and Indian celebrities under one roof. But it also raises questions, doesn't it? About power, about wealth, about who gets to be in these exclusive circles. Now, not everyone was cheering for this lavish display. The sheer opulence of the event sparked outrage in many quarters. Critics pointed out the stark contrast between this display of wealth and the poverty that still plagues much of India. Some called it tone-deaf, others called it downright insulting. There were environmental concerns too. Flying in hundreds of guests on private jets? Not exactly eco-friendly. And let's not forget the use of animals in the celebrations, which didn't sit well with animal rights activists. But here's where it gets complicated. The Ambanis also used the event to showcase their philanthropic efforts. They inaugurated a new animal rescue center and highlighted their work in Jamnagar. It's like they were saying, yes, we're wealthy, but look at what we're doing with that wealth. So, what do we make of all this? Is it possible to justify such extravagance? Or is this just too much, no matter how you spin it? Beyond the glitz and the controversy, we have to ask, what does an event like this mean for India? Economically, it's a boost. Think about it, the amount of money poured into Jamnagar alone is staggering. Hotels, caterers, performers, decorators, they all benefited. But socially? That's where things get murky. In a country with such income inequality, does this kind of display widen the gap? Or does it, as some argue, provide a sort of aspirational goal? And culturally, what message does it send? About weddings, about wealth, about what's valued in society? As we come to the end of our journey through this wedding extravaganza, we're left with more questions than answers. Yes, it was a spectacle. Yes, it showcased India on a global stage. But at what cost? Perhaps the Anant Radhika wedding is a mirror, reflecting the contradictions of modern India, a country racing towards the future, yet deeply rooted in tradition. A nation of stark contrasts, extreme wealth and grinding poverty existing side by side. In the end, beyond the celebrity sightings and the controversies, this was a celebration of love between two young people. And maybe that's what we should remember, that at the heart of even the grandest spectacle, there's something deeply human. So, what do you think? Was this the wedding of the century or a step too far? Hit that subscribe button now and press on the video now popping on your screen. I am sure you will love it. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and see you there.